morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the latest edition of Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Hey, listen, I just want to appreciate you guys tuning in and, showing your love and showing your support. Good morning, chat. Appreciate you tuning in. You can follow me on YouTube, Troy Ramel Royal. I need subscribers. Please subscribe to the show. But once again, I want to thank you for following in. We're going to get right to it. We're going to talk a little bit of basketball. We're going to talk some baseball. And hopefully we have some fun. If you want to be part of the show, call me up. I'd love to hear from you. 706-801-5926. Once again, if you want to be part of the show, call me up. 706-801-5926. Let's get started. Listen, my question to you today, are we destined to see a three-peat? Good morning, Timothy. Are we destined to see a three-peat in the NBA Finals this year? This year. Are we destined to see the return of Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors? Because at this point here, we might as well just forfeit the rest of the playoffs. Because all they're doing is just sweeping everybody. They're showing up the games with brooms and dustpans. No one is giving them really any competition. Let's look at Cleveland for a second. They've won their first 8 games. They won 11 in a row. Good morning, Greg. Call me up. Be part of the show. 706-801-5926. They're just destroying their opponents. Paul George, he tried to give an effort against LeBron. The team was just overmatched. It was just overmatched. And then Toronto, who has to be the most disappointing team of the NBA season. I mean, first it goes to New York and peace to forever. Good to see you aboard. That honor for me went to the Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. But to see what the Raptors have done in this playoff against the Cleveland Cavs, and remember, this was a team that improved their roster, took Cleveland to 6 games last year in the Eastern Finals to get swept. And let's look at Golden State. Have you ever seen a deeper team than Golden State? A deeper team than Golden State. I may have said this on one of my previous shows, but have you seen a deeper team than Golden State? Durant goes down, they don't skip a beat. They have 3 other stars. Iguodala is a former NBA Finals MVP. They have 3 other stars. Steve Kerr goes down, and they pull in Mike Brown, who's an NBA Finals head coach. How deep can the team be? Has there ever been a team deeper than the Golden State Warriors? Has it? I mean, it's one thing one of your players go down, people fill in, but one of your coaches go down and you replace the coach with a coach that's been to the NBA Finals. How deep of a roster this has. If the GM goes down, Jerry West can step in. Who has an organization as deep as the Golden State Warriors? Greg says Toronto, the Raptors suck. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. They're very disappointed. I actually thought they was going to beat the Cavaliers. What do I know? But what they did was disgusting. It really was. And I have to blame Casey on that because I thought it was coaching. Poor matchup. His decision in the first 2 games not to start Valanciunas, I thought that was a mistake. And once that took place, he wasn't able to recover. And then Kyle Lowry going out. The question is now, and we'll touch on this later on, but the question is now, with certain teams done in the playoffs, Indiana, Chicago, Toronto, Utah, Shout out to my sister as she's tuning in. Hey, Tara. Is this the last that we see Gordon Hayward in a Utah uniform? Is this the last that we see Paul George in the Indiana uniform? Is this the last that we see Kyle Lowry in a Toronto uniform? Is this the last that we see Jimmy Butler in a Chicago uniform? Will there be player movement among these all-star players this offseason? Will there be player movement among those players? Listen, if you want to be part of the show, I'd love to hear from you. Call me up, 706-801-5926. Love to hear from you. Call me up, keep it clean. I'll talk about anything you want to talk about. But is this the last that we see of them in those uniforms? Possibly so. Possibly so. But let's get to the games. Boston comes home after losing 2 in a row on the road in Washington to Washington. They come back home. Maybe it's some home cooking. Maybe some home love. Maybe they just got tired of losing. But they came out like gangbusters. Avery Bradley. What's going on, Jonathan? Avery Bradley came out the gate blazing. I think he had 25 first half points. The Washington Wizards really never got on track. They trailed as many as in the high 20s. The lowest I seen them get it to in the second half was probably the 13 points. But anytime they tried to go on a run and cut this lead, Boston will match that run and expand their lead. Definitely a good win for Boston, as now they take command of the series at 3-2 and they go on the road. The question is, and those who follow sports, whether it's basketball or football, or hockey for that matter, it's not a series until the road team wins. It's not a series until the road team wins. So until Washington can prove that they can win in Boston, chances are Boston moves on. Boston has game 6 in Washington, but they have game 7 at home. So until Washington can prove that they can win on the road, this looks like it's going to be Boston's series. On the other hand, San Antonio and Houston, they play tonight. Both teams have won on the road. However, San Antonio has recaptured the home court advantage. They're up 3-2 as they head to Houston. And I'm going to tell you something. You know, Kawhi Leonard didn't play the final seconds of the fourth quarter. And he did not play the overtime. And to see them win that game without their star player, their best player, it's not surprising to me. It really isn't. And I'm going to tell you, it will not surprise me if the Spurs go to Houston and win without Kawhi Leonard. Why? I'll tell you why. Pop is the master of not playing his players every game. He rests his players all year long. All right? To me, yeah, sure, it might benefit the player that's rested. But I think it benefits the team. And I'll tell you why. Because the team is getting playing time. Guys that are the 11th, 10th, 9th, 12th man on the roster, they're getting playing time. And guess what happens? He plays them all year long so that when it comes down to a moment like this, where he might have to dig deep into his bag of tricks or just look deep down the bench, he's got a guy that has sweat on his back. He don't have a guy that never washed his uniform. He has a guy that's been playing all season. So when he goes to fill in, guess what it is? It's next man up. It's just simply next man up. And because of that next man up attitude in San Antonio, it will not surprise me if they go into Houston tonight and close this out without Kawhi Leonard. And it doesn't help Houston's chances that Hart might be the best regular season player, but in the playoffs, Hart still has a label as a choker. I mean, what took place in that last game with the turnovers, getting the ball ripped, let alone the block shot at the closing moment. The ball should have been long gone before the 39-year-old Ginobili could come from behind and just swat it away. I mean, he should have put up the shot 2 seconds prior. He had an opportunity. Too much dribble. He wants to make the razzle dazzle, the ESPN top 10. Just go ahead and play ball. That might have cost you the series, because that was your game. No Kawhi Leonard in the overtime. That was your game. But I'm sorry. I don't care what his stats are in the playoffs. Harden is still a choker to me when it comes to the money game. Yes, he's still a choker. There's a lot that he has to mature and grow. He's got to shake that label. People criticizing Harden, I'm one of them. You got to win that game. You're the best player on the court in overtime. The best player on the court. May even have the best supporting cast. Talking about players not being on the same team next year. There's no way that Ginobili comes back. If he comes back, I can't believe it. How do you let this guy outplay you in the overtime period? With no Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge a shell of himself. Paul Gasol, he just don't know what he's doing out there. You got Jonathan Simmons just running raggedy out there. Patty Mills is maybe the only threat. Danny Green, he came alive. I hadn't seen him play like that since the Miami Finals. He came alive. But at the end of the day, this was for Harden. You know, he's an MVP candidate for a reason. But you know my motto. Stars need to play like stars when stars need to be stars. And he did not star in that star moment. This is on Harden. This is on Harden. He's got to secure that win, going back home 3-2 with the crowd. Now he's going back home 3-2, pressure on him, and San Antonio is going to be relaxed but relentless. They're going to be relaxed and relentless. And with or without Kawhi Leonard, they get it done tonight. They get it done tonight. Popovich will find a way to get it done tonight. As far as Boston and Washington, that's going 7. When they resume play in Washington, Washington will win that game. It's going back to the TD Gardens. We need some drama in the NBA, and that's the one right there. These two teams don't like each other. There's hatred. They go at it. That's going 7. NBA needs that to go 7. But are we, again, I ask, are we destined for a three-peat of a finals rematch? Cavs versus Golden State. Can anybody challenge Golden State? Can anybody in the East challenge Cleveland? Jonathan, you're a regular for the show, and I always appreciate your input and your comments. But Harden is not going to get it done tonight. If he does, I'll be the first one to come back on the air and offer an apology. But he doesn't get it done. He's going to choke again. San Antonio wraps this up, gets some much-needed rest, as Golden State is probably golfing, barbecuing, just relaxing. Just relaxing. With this being a point guard-driven league, with the point guards taking over, the big men taking a back seat, the wing players feeding off the point guard and their penetration. This takes me to the NBA Combine that's taking place today in Chicago as we get ready for the draft in about 6 weeks. And you know where my New York Knicks stand. They stand with possibly the 7th pick in the draft with needs of everything, especially at point guard. And there's 5 that's coming out this year. The French guy. You got Fultz, you got Ball, you got Fox, you got Dennis Smith. What do the Knicks do? Who do they scout? Will they be at the Combine? I mean, there was a big game in the tournament between UCLA and Kentucky, and Where was Phil Jackson for that matchup? Was he at the game along with Magic Johnson scouting? No. He was at LA watching the unveiling of the statue of Shaquille O'Neal. Where's your priorities, Phil? Where's your priorities? You could have sent a video chat just like Magic did. He's the vice president of operations of the Lakers, and he didn't even show up. But no, you think you got to be there when you got work to do. It ain't like the Knicks is playing in the finals. So the question is, will Phil Jackson show up at the combine, or he's somewhere else? And the Knicks is in need of everything. Everything. As I say, you got 5 point guards coming out. Do the Knicks snatch one of them up? There's been a lot of talk about the 18-year-old, 19-year-old point guard, 6'5" out of France. I don't know about these overseas guys. I really don't. I don't get to see them. Are they projects? Can they come in? Can they do something now? I'm not saying they can't play. I just don't know enough about them. I got to rely on Fran Fraschilla to give me commentary on them. I mean, I know what I've seen in Fox. I know what I've seen in Ball. I've seen some videos of Dennis Smith and Fultz. I haven't seen nothing on the French guy. I can't even pronounce his name. But the draft combine is taking place today. There's going to be a lot of eyes on these youngsters as they get ready to go on an interview and show what they can do for the upcoming weeks to say that they belong in the league, making an impression on why you should draft them. Shout out to Ernie. He said they need a scout, a GM, need to scout a GM. Yeah, I wish there was a combine for GMs. You must be talking about the Knicks. I respect that. I don't know how they re-up Phil Jackson's 2-year tenure. I just don't understand that. I really don't. He hasn't done nothing for the team. Again, where's your priorities? Yeah, Shaq helped you win 3 championships, but that was years ago. You're running the New York Knicks and you're watching the unveiling of a statue when you need everything on the team. And all you can do in front of a microphone is say 2 things. We're committed to the triangle, and I will be looking to trade Carmelo Anthony in the offseason. That's it. That's it. The triangle's outdated. It only works when you have stars. Carmelo Anthony is an aging star. You have no upcoming star other than Porzingis, and he took a back seat to last year. He didn't show no growth. So what are you doing to develop players? Just curious. Somebody talk to me about that. If you want to be part of the show, give me a call. 706-801-5926. But once again, the combine takes place today. I want to touch on a little bit of baseball. And listen, I am not a Yankee fan. I'm not one of those New Yorkers that can root for the Mets and the Yankees, the Jets and the Giants, the Knicks and the Nets. Listen, Rangers and the Islanders. I'm not one of those guys. I believe if you like one, you don't like the other. I'm a Jet fan, don't care for the Giants. I'm a Knicks fan, don't care for the Nets. I'm a Met fan, don't care for the Yankees. Problem with the teams that I root for, they don't win nothing. Mets ain't won since 86. The Knicks ain't won since 70. The Jets ain't won since 69. The Giants have won. The Yankees have won. The Nets ain't won since they were in the ABA and playing in Long Island with Dr. J with the afro and the red, white, and blue ball. So I don't feel too bad there. But that might have been after the Knicks won. So I don't know. I might have to check the stats on that. The Islanders have more championships than the Rangers. It's just I seem like I'm an underdog guy. I don't know. But with that said, I brought that up to say this. I gotta respect where the Yankees are right now. They got the best record in the American League. They seem like they're gonna stay on that course. And they just, I tell you what, if you don't put away a team that don't belong to be where they're at, then they're gonna stick around a long time. They're gonna stick around. They will stick around. And right now, the Yankees is believing in themselves. They got a nice little mixture of some youth and some veterans, and they're playing ball. Pitching staff, the back end is lights out. The front, they got to tone it down a little bit. They got to tone that down a little bit. But the Yankees is looking sharp. My Mets let one slip away yesterday going into the ninth inning. And in late innings, I don't understand that. I think they're overworking these relief pitches. They need to let these starters go 7-8 innings so that some of these relief pitches can be fresh. But that was a game they needed. But they lost it in a half game under 500. They're in second place. They're trailing the Washington Nationals. But that's a game you got to win. You got to complete the sweep. That's 2 series in a row that you had a chance to complete a sweep and you did not. You got to complete the sweeps. That's the only way you move up in the standings. My question to you is, with the Chicago Cubs, 500, 17-17, I believe it is, in 4th place in the National League Central, is that the best division in baseball? And will Chicago return to the World Series? Listen, on paper, Chicago got the best team out there. They might be drunk from last year because I don't see them getting back there. You know, baseball is a marathon. It is. It really is. It's a marathon. But if you don't get that rhythm going where you're winning 8 out of 10, 10 out of 12, winning 2 or 3 series in a row or 4, it's not going to get done. And right now, everybody's coming after Chicago and they're not responding well. So I'm looking at this as Chicago's going to have a tough time repeating. Jonathan says, what's up with Matt Harvey? We should have traded him right after the World Series for a bat. Matt Harvey is the guy that the Mets want to be the next Tom Seaver. But he's just not that guy. He's missing something. I don't know if he wants it bad enough. I don't know if he's just a brat. I don't know. We should have got rid of him for a bat. We need a bat in that lineup. But now that we have him, we got to make the most of him. But I wouldn't be looking to sign him long term when his contract is up after the year 2018. The one good thing about Harvey, he's on a rookie salary. So we're not paying him no big bucks right now. But I don't see him getting a long-term deal in a Met uniform unless he just turns that into a Cy Young candidate for the rest of this year and next year. Is it meant to? It's possible. Is he just a brat? Think he's the starter of it all? He should be the number one option? He's the ace? Yeah, it could be a lot of things. I just know that right now it's not resulting into some quality baseball and just being a quality teammate for that matter. I mean, you got teammates speaking out as if this is his MO. You know, if you're supposed to be the leader or the ace of that pitching staff, then boom, you need to provide us a little bit more. You know, show leadership. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'll start DeGrom or Syndergaard over you any day. And don't get me wrong, Matt Harvey, when he's on his game, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. I mean, that's why we went to the World Series, because of the pitching staff. Because of the pitching staff. That's the only reason why we was in the playoffs last year. The pitching staff, yeah, we got some timely hitting here and there, but we don't have no 300 hitters. It's long ball or nothing. Long ball or nothing. So we're going to see what happens. Baseball is a marathon. We're not even at the halfway point. I can't believe I'm talking this much baseball while the NBA playoffs is going on. But baseball in New York, and those who know me, that's where I'm from, is relevant. The Mets are relevant. The Yankees are relevant. So we're going to talk about them. We're going to chop it up on Chopping It Up with Ramel when it comes down to Mets and Yankees. We're going to chop it up. But in the meantime, hey, I appreciate all of y'all tuning in, giving your insight. I'm going to end right now. Stay tuned. We'll chop it up tomorrow or the next day. I appreciate it. I like the Spurs to close it out tonight. Peace and blessings. Y'all be good. I see y'all in 24. This is Ramel from Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Y'all be good.
Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. No notes, straight from